Hello everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today is the beginning of the end of the world, and all that jazz. Okay, I'm being a little overly dramatic here, but I do have some great plans for today, and it involves working on the rest of the town and the surrounding land here. The most recent update of Minecraft 1.18 was the Caves and Cliffs update. Well, this episode is the Caves and Cliffs episode, where we are going to be outlining all of the rest of the area that we need to build up for Arendelle. And am I going to have to take these mountains down? Probably. Yeah, we'll see about that. So, we're going to jump right in and basically start wireframing everything else that needs to get done. The entirety of the fjord, and then all of the area over here, the southern part of the harbor where all of that's going to go. So the next thing that you will see is a wireframe of what the final product is going to look like. Welcome back, everyone. So you can kind of see some netherrack outlines here. But let me give you an idea of just the scope of what still has to be done here. So this is the outline of the southern part of the harbor. I have not worked any of the actual, like where the terrain is going to go from here. I'm just going to build that up organically when I get to it. So then we come over here. The world's a little slow to load. So that's down there. Up here, this is the rest of the grassy area that I need to fill in. I didn't frame out where the cliffs are going to go, because honestly that's not overly important. Basically, I'm just building up from here. If we take a little landing here, if I can stick that. So I did go ahead and build up an idea of how high I want to go. Yeah, that's build height. And that's probably how high we're going to have to go. I'm glad build height got extended. Anyway, continuing on. So this is grass area that we're going to be building up. To this point, I didn't do anything beyond here, because it's kind of rocky and a little bit steeper. And so then we have a lower area down here that leads to this little river that feeds the fjord, if I can land here. And that's going to be coming from here. Oh, there's actually a little bit of a river there. That actually worked out nicely. Not at all. But basically what's going to happen here is that I'm going to have cliffs that go up either side of this river, and then they're going to bend to the left up here, and that's going to basically obscure the sight line out of there. And then this bit of netherrack here outlines the rest of the cliffs surrounding the fjord that come all the way out here somewhere, and then it's going to start to bend away out here. And this is, I have a little bit of an arrow drawn here because I don't know how far it's going to have to go for the sight lines. Obviously, I don't know what my render distance is set at right now. Only 22 chunks, which is about all I can handle. So that's probably not nearly as important, but just kind of rounding things off. So, yeah, totally not daunted at all by all the work that still needs to get done on this project. But again, this isn't all stuff that needs to get finished by the end of the season, but just the kind of the outline of the final thing. And so there's going to be an area over here that is built up like the town here, and then there will be cliffs that kind of merge to the edge there. And basically till you go out of sight line. So the next thing that needs to be done is I need to start preparing the fjord for all the work that needs to get done. So we need more dock area like we have over here. I need to remove a whole bunch of land masses. I need to kind of sink this area down and make it look a little bit more organic. I need to get rid of all of the coral. So, I guess the best way to do that is to just get going. So, pop, 6, squish, scissors, lit ships. Now that my little tango with the fjord is done, as you can see, it's looking much better indeed, and all ready for the rest of the work that needs to be done. But I think for now, we are going to turn our attention over here to the north side of the harbor and all of this area that really needs to get filled in before we can start working on all the cliffs. So that is what I am going to get to next, and I think we'll jump into a little time lapse. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. It's looking very green around here, and kind of flat. That will be fixed when we add trees and grass and all that good stuff. Yeah, but that's a project for a little bit later. So now that we have all of this done, I want to start getting an idea of just what the mountains are going to look like. And I think I said this before, but I definitely want to reiterate. I'm really glad that we made it through the update where they updated world height because, yeah, that top layer there is sitting at 201. We wouldn't be getting much mountains if we hadn't been upgraded to, I think it's 319 that we can go to now. So what I want to do is I just want to get a little bit of an idea of what these mountains are going to look like. And so what I'm thinking to basically do is to just take stone and build straight up for several blocks, and then I want to have like a little I don't know what to call it, but basically like a little flat area, kind of like we have, here, that will, be like a little tier, and then we'll go straight up again, and then maybe have a second one of those a little bit higher up, and then just kind of randomly do those throughout. So what I probably will do is start someplace, build up, build the little plateau, and then build up to it, and then go from there. So that is what I'm going to be working on next, and I'll bring you guys back when we have something to see. Welcome back, everyone. We have reached build limit, and I definitely have to say that, I don't care about expensive things, cashmere coats, diamond rings. All I care about is terraforming. That's what I'm here for. And this has been quite the project, building this up here. I have gone through almost 2 shulker boxes of stone for this little area here. I've also been very carefully trying to avoid spoilers because I thought it would be kind of fun to look at this together. So what we are going to do is we're going to bridge out to this netherrack here, and I'm just going to tear this down behind me. And then we will go down and take a look at this together. Trying not to see anything as I go. Not look too closely at it. And let me tell you, the lag is real. It's been quite the process, and definitely a little bit of a drain with everything that we've built here. Also, you can't even see the shulker boxes. That's how high we are. So I have no idea what this is going to look like. I hope that it looks good, because this took a while. And if I have to tear it down and rebuild, all right, let's go here. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, you know what? I'm not unhappy with this. I feel like I got better as I went, so there's definitely some areas that are very blocky. I'm looking right here and there. I do like the grass. I was kind of afraid you weren't going to be able to see it, and you really can't see that tier up there, so I would probably want to bring that down to the edge a little bit more, and probably do a little bit more with that. I'm probably going to stick some trees out there. And then I would want to definitely round off some of these areas. But, like, the top up here, I feel looks pretty nice. And this layer looks okay. I think I would maybe want to build this up a little bit more. Sorry, my cat is at my shoulder meowing as loud as she possibly can. Yeah. The other thing I think I would want to do is I think I would want to trim off some of this area up here so that it's not completely flat at the top. I figured I would just run everything up to build height and then go from there. But yeah, I feel like for a start, this isn't too bad. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do just a little bit, go through and kind of clean up some of these areas, add a little bit more grass to that, and just see what we can do to clean this up. And yeah, and then I think that's where we're going to leave this off for today, because I have stuff down here in the harbor that I want to work on. I basically just wanted to get an idea of what this was going to look like so that I could start working on it. And then that's stuff that I will do as I have time for. So let me do some cleaning up. I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. And there we go. Just some very subtle changes, just kind of smoothed out any of the hard edges, added a little bit more grass to the area, shaved off the top so that it's not a flat line, and then added a tree just to give it a little bit of variation, just to give a little something else up there. I think I probably would want to maybe bone meal some grass up there as well. I don't think I have any bone meal on me. But yeah, so that's what we are looking at. I feel like the kind of like the 3 layers, I think, is a good model to go with. And as we get closer down to the fjord, I might add another layer in just to give it a little bit more depth. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this looks. It looks good from various different angles. Let's fly a little bit lower. Of course, this area of the world has gotten so big that you can't even see that. Like, if we look from here, I don't think you can even see the palace. Castle, whatever it is. Yeah, no, you can see the gate. Yeah, so, yeah, really liking how that looks. But now, I want to turn my attention to something that has been driving me crazy for a while, which is this gaping hole in the terrain right here. So we need to do a little bit more terraforming of this area up here along the edge of the harbor. Let's see if I can make that jump. I cannot. And then just kind of get all of this filled in. There's a little bit of a cliff up there. There we go. But yeah, just kind of get this all done and then start trying to figure out where we want these cliff face over here, where we've got the waterfall down into the harbor, because that's what I would like to do for today. So let me get to work on that, and I will bring you guys back in a little bit. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you tossed a weapon between some pacified pillagers? My guess is they'll both reach for the crossbow. No, I guess they won't. Welcome back, everyone, and we now have a cliff around our little harbor area. And I can also proudly say that I finally incorporated some of the original terrain that was here. I think maybe like 20 or 30 blocks. No, a little bit more than that. This was definitely a little bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be, just because I was trying to work from what was already there and get it to all line up. But I think it looks pretty good. I think what it really needs, because of, let's go take a closer look at this. So because I had such a limited area to work with, apparently I've left blocks all around. I don't know if we're going to be able to see this. But yeah, because of how close the cliff was and where it needed to go, I couldn't do a ton of work as far as depth went. And so I think we have a really nice start to it. Down here on the ground is not the best place to see this. Let's see if we can get to a roof. Let's try this one. I missed. I'm going to end up at the bottom of the harbor. Let's try this roof. Nope. Now I'm inside. What did I glitch through? Okay. How do I get out of here? Also, really afraid that There we go. Okay, I hope that's how that went. Alright, I need to be on a roof. You know what? Flying! Flying? Not flying, apparently. There we go. Actually, then we can kind of see from over here. Yeah, but let's take a land so we can actually look at it in peace, without having to worry about flying into anything. Yeah, so yeah, it was definitely a tight area in which to work, and I feel like we the depth is pretty good. But because of the fact that it has to be fairly vertical, I think it looks a little flat. And so I think what it just really needs is some texture built into it. So working in some andesite, some gravel, just to give it a little bit of color variation, I think that will help. As you can see, I went in and worked some dirt up at the top. I need to do a couple of things. We need to deal with that there, and I don't like that one piece is between the stones. So let's see if maybe we can clean some of that up here. And let's see here. So right here, I want to let's just do a couple of blocks. And that will carry that over. And then where was this little thing? Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll replace that with a grass, and then, nope, not quite where I wanted that, but then let's stick another thing there, and then we'll fly down here. Yeah. I say yeah, and I'm looking over here. Yeah, that helps a lot. So, good. Okay. So, I'm definitely running a little bit short on time, and I'm not going to do quite everything I had hoped for in this episode, but that is okay. Yeah, so what I want to try to do is I want to try to get the cliffs that go across here. Ideally, I would like to stretch this all the way over. There is, as you can kind of see where this little area dips back there, there's a waterfall that comes down there, and so I'd like to get through that, and I think the waterfall goes through 2 or 3 different tiers. So what we have is kind of a cliff face here, and then there is a little plateau that's actually going to stretch out from here. So we'll kind of just fill that in with grass, and then we'll have another cliff face that goes up, and then there's another little plateau, kind of like what we did up there, and be able to carry that along. And now I realize you probably already spotted this as we were looking at it, but there's some new trees up here, and I'm missing a grass block apparently. Yeah, so I have a new orchard here. I think these were based on pear trees, although one of the ones that I had over there was supposed to be pear trees. So I saw this on HermitCraft. I think it was Joe Hills, was using the glow lichen to cover leaves, and he was just using regular leaves, but to make a new leaf texture for the tree. And I was thinking about it, and I thought that might work really, really well to cover some other blocks. And so I started playing around, and what we have here is I have white wool, white concrete powder, white glass, and then azalea leaves, just to add some like real foliage to it. But yeah, I think these turned out really, really nice. I really like the look of this, and I'm definitely excited to. I see a place where I missed a glow lichen. I don't have bone meal or anything on, so I'll have to come back and fix that. Yeah, but I think it. I think it really makes these trees look natural. Obviously, they do glow, so there is that. But I think that's okay. And I had played around with using like wool and concrete powder before to try to get a tree, because I wanted something that would have like pink leaves. I think I was trying to do plum trees. And they're when they flower, the flowers tend to be pink, and so I was playing around with that, and it didn't look real, and so, but I think that with the glow lichen on there, it looks real and it looks natural, and yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I don't think I'm going to do any more with that in here. I mean, I do have other orchards that I need to build. I'm also really regretting committing to custom trees in so many different places, because, yeah, 26 custom trees there. Yeah, and then all the other orchards that I've done, everything has been custom, and I'm planning to do still more with custom spruce trees and other things. I think somewhere we're going to have to work in normal Minecraft trees just so that I don't go completely insane trying to fill all of this out. Yeah, okay, so time to get to work, and when it comes to terraforming, I am my own best friend, so let's jump into it and let's get this finished. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. We now have more of our harbor filled in. Really liking how this is coming along. It's not done. So these cliffs are going to go up sharply from here to probably around this height. And then they'll kind of extend from the hillside up here. But for the time I have today, this is all that we're going to do. So I just want to do a little bit of finishing work up here. So we're going to pop some grass in. Just kind of bone meal this area. I want this to be fairly overgrown. So we will do that. Probably take the flowers out of here, but bone meal the grass a little bit taller in places, because obviously this is a place that people are probably not going to be climbing up to. Yeah, not really an accessible spot. Although now that I say that and I'm thinking about this, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where Anna and Hans came. And we're overlooking the castle, which you can't see right now, but I did just learn about a mod that will allow me to drastically increase the render distance so that we might actually be able to see everything that's up here. So I will definitely be playing around with that in the future. So yes, I'm not sure, because I know that they're standing by some waterfall, so I don't know. Maybe I need to carve a path up here at some point, but we'll leave that for a future time and episode. And I think for right now, I think we are just about done with all of this. Let's do that. Let's bone meal some of these smaller grasses. And it's becoming nighttime. Yeah, this I think now looks actually a little too overgrown, because that grass kind of sticks out quite a lot. So let's maybe take a little of that out. I am also flirting with disaster. Oh, good, I have one rocket left. Yeah, I think I wanna take a little bit more of this out, actually. We'll leave the stuff up there, but maybe we'll get rid of the 2 high grasses down front. And let's get rid of that too. Okay. I think that will be okay. And so then, all that's left to do is give him the old razzle-dazzle and get this waterfall in here. So let's pop that down and that down so that I have an infinite source. And then I'm going to have this flow. Now, I need to go up there. Let's see. Let's hope that gets me where I need to be. That'll work. And then we can do that from there, which should flow down. Perfect. Did I not line that? I didn't line that up right. Well, you know what? It works. So we'll go with it. Let's make sure. So I want to get this all filled in. To make sure we have water sources all along here. And then that will, well, let's see. So then we'll need a source there. We'll need a source there. I like having flowing water. Yep, there we go. Because I think it just gives it a little bit of life. And then that should go the rest of the way along. We're gonna need a source there. Yeah, that smooths that off a little bit. But then we have the water flowing down. That's something that I wish we would have a little bit more of in Minecraft, is the ability to have like rivers that actually flow. So, with my last rocket and my last ender pearl, let's go take ender pearl. Yeah, with my last rocket and running out of elytra, there we go. Yeah, I really like how that has turned out. We're not going to be able to get to see any more of it because I can't. I'm just floating my way down. But there we go. I like it. All right. Well, definitely didn't get quite as far as I had hoped to in this episode, but we definitely made a lot of progress, and I can keep moving forward from here. I also, in the last clip, forgot to show off, I did a little bit of work along here. Just did a little bit of finishing up. Got like chains in place and have actual stairs down to this part of the harbor. And then down under here, I went and replaced all of the stone here with stone bricks that you can see that like it's actually finished. And then down here underneath everything, I have extended the stone. And it mostly goes straight down, but I did in places have it pop out a little bit. So, yeah. Of course, now I need to get out of here. And I have this, I have a ladder, but I also have a chain over across the top of it. I also don't think I showed this off in the last clip, but I finished in this whole section here, and as this is part of the town, I did a little bit more detailing with the rock here. So I've got some slabs, I've got some texture worked in. I did not get a chance to add, I'd like to add a couple of trees to these dirt patches, kind of like these ones that we have here, but that's something that I will have to get to later. But yeah, starting to get to the point where we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, even though that tunnel is the ridiculousness of the walls of the cliffs that need to go all around there. Yeah, so we'll see. I know I said 70 episodes. I'm now contemplating possibly extending that. We'll just kind of have to see how things are going and how I'm feeling about all of this. Also, I noticed something interesting as I've been flying around. Oh, where'd it go? Well, I thought I had noticed something interesting. It must have been a rendering issue. So I have my biome blend turned up as high as I can, which gives the smoothest transition. But I had a couple of places where I had a sharp line as I had been flying around earlier. But I don't see it now. So yeah, it must be some kind of rendering issue. Grab some more rockets here. We can finish this up. So let's go take a look at everything that we've done. So we have that there, and then we have our cliffs up here. So I think I'm gonna fly down here and end at our waterfall before my elytra breaks and I plummet to my death. Guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. Now you might be wondering, I called this the Caves and Cliffs episode, and I didn't make any caves. Didn't I? You'll just have to find out later. Also, can you figure out what show I just recently finished doing? That's part of the reason this episode has taken so long, is it was my high school's musical recently. Yeah, I've been dropping hints to it all episodes, so if you know what show we did, let me know in the comments. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe, and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.